What's going on, y'all? Carlito here, back with another video on your screen. Big shout out to all my sponsors. Um, the best financial services in the game today. CLC. Just a bunch of stuff going on right now. And big shout out to Gamez Law Firm, Gamez Fights, and just many, Mal Azul, always doing big things. Thank y'all to everybody. And welcome back to the channel, bro. Carlos LeBron, you know, uh coming off a big win, bro. And big shout out to Undisputed Promotions too. You know, big Anthony out there and let everyone know all about you, bro.
Thank you for having me, first of all. Second of all, I want to thank God for the win. Without God, I wouldn't have been in there, been able to do what I do. I want to shout out Undisputed Promotions and Anthony Arvello Jr. He gave me the opportunity to fight on Pro Box TV, and I feel like I capitalized on it. I also want to thank my team, James Taylor, known as JT, Coach JT, the head coach at Teknique Boxing, and also another right hand man, Francisco Mendez, Big Pot. We had a little team this time, and it just felt right. You know what I mean? Back to the same team that we had when I started my first fight, so it felt good for me, and it was a great experience. I loved it. We boxed beautifully.
Damn, bro, that's what's up. So from the last time that we talked, you were just starting out and your mode and learning the rhythm and everything. How do you feel about from then to now, how far you've come?
I've came a far, long way. Obviously, my first pro fight didn't go our way. It was a rough fight. I fought a Cuban Olympian. He was 3-1. Um, I know my boxing skills would have got him, but I just wasn't there mentally, and it happens to the best of us. I felt like I learned from that. A lot of people would have not came back from that, or said I should have quit or whatever. But I pushed through all of that, and I feel like tough times make diamonds.
Amen, bro. Amen. And talk about, the Florida boxing scene to what do you feel like you want next, after this great win?
The Florida fighters out here. I don't know if any of them want to fight me. But I grew up with a lot of them. Especially in my weight class, I grew up with a lot of them. And I feel like if they were to want to fight me, that it would be a good fight for the fans and the state of Florida. You know what I mean? Now that I got that O out my way, both O's, a dub, and even though I had to learn in my first fight, I got that L. It was a learning lesson more than a loss. You know what I mean? Bernard Hopkins lost his first fight. Manny Pacquiao lost one of his first fights. Lomachenko. But look where they're at. So I just pushed through it, stayed consistent. My team got me through it, and I felt better. I felt stronger mentally and physically.
Amen, bro. Amen. And then what do you see yourself in the next 6 months? What would you like to be?
Um, we're gonna fight again real soon. Fight date coming out real soon. But I see myself in the next 6 months. I just see myself going up the ranks. I'm only 18 years old. So whatever comes my way, comes my way. I'm gonna be prepared for it. This time we were prepared to box and we were prepared to go to war. So either one I was prepared for. In the end, he ended up quitting in the middle of the fight. But he was tough and he came to fight. So hats off to him.
Facts, facts, bro. Talk about your brother. I know your brother's fighting at the end of this month, and talk about his fight, bro. How is he preparing?
My brother Joshua LeBron, the Latin Bomber, he fights July 26th on Pro Box TV also. They fight in the Kissimmee Civic Center, I believe. Um, but he's preparing real good. He runs a lot. He does his hills, the hills training we do right next to our house. He does that a lot. He'll run 5 miles and stuff like that. But he's looking more than ready. He's getting bigger, stronger. and he's sparring me, so that helps.
Thanks, bro. And that's always good, bro. And always touching base with the Florida guys. And I can't forget about, my guy Julio La Pantera Rosa. Gonna be showcasing his talents again on the 28th. Big shout out to him and the Orlando Boxing Club, Fight Club. And what do you think about these upcoming fights, bro? Like, there's big fights coming up. You got Earl Spence, Bud Crawford. How do you feel that fight will go down? Who do you got in that fight?
I feel like there's only one way that fight goes down, and that's with T Bud winning.
Yeah,
Terrence Crawford gonna win. I just think he's too dynamic. He has multiple dimensions to his game. He's not gonna just go straight or forward or back. He's gonna give you the angles, and he can switch. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's gonna be the deciding factor in the fight. Errol Spence gonna come to fight though, and everybody knows that. That's what makes it exciting. But I still don't think it's a 50-50 fight, no matter what.
okay. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting fight, bro. And you got many more fights coming up. Who would you like to see, or what fight are you most excited to see as a boxing fan?
Um, as a fan, I want to see that T Bud fight really bad. I feel like that'll be like the fight of the decade, like they said. Um, I've been waiting to see that fight, and I feel like once that fight happens, then you're gonna see a lot more great fights happening.
Facts, bro. It's gonna be exciting couple of months. And before I forget, Truck Bits of Texas always putting on for San Antonio nationwide. Y'all go check them out. The links will be in the description down below. And what would you tell the fans, bro? Like if they're wanting to get into boxing or they're watching boxing, like what can they expect, from, you know, boxing, life?
So I would say watching it as a fan, you may watch it and think it's easier than what it is. Getting in there and just doing it for one round probably be way more exhausting for somebody that just watches it than somebody that does it. Um, if you're looking to get into it, I would say just stay consistent. That'd be the main thing. The more consistent you are, and the more baby steps you take, the better you're gonna be. The more you try to leap and leap for steps, you could tend to get yourself hurt, or it might just not work out. You might find yourself rushing or overthinking. So, I mean, just staying mentally strong and focused is the main thing. And can we touch on some of the people in my weight class, like at the
Yeah,
top?
bro. Facts. Do it.
So like I see myself in, I would say, depending on the next year or two, how it goes, I see myself beating a lot of top guys. Lewis Neary, I know he's number one. I see myself beating him, and that's just staying smart and focused and smart. Cause I don't feel like any of these guys can touch me when it comes to boxing. Just the simple hit and not get hit. So I feel like once the time comes, and it will be there, I feel like I'm gonna capitalize.
Amen, bro. And when do you have like a set time frame that you would like to be a champ?
I don't have a set time frame. I think I'm gonna put everything in my team in God's hands at this time because I'm still young. But if it presented itself and me and my team were fully mentally and physically ready for it, yeah, I feel like it would be right, no matter what age.
Facts, bro. A dream fight. Who would you
You,
like to fight?
who me?
Before, I know your career's just starting, 18, you know, looking forward to the future. You know, what's your main goal like in the sport of boxing besides being a champ?
I just want to be remembered as like the greatest. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to be able to mention Floyd, Ali, Tyson, any of those guys without saying my name. So just being remembered in that way, not necessarily all into that money and stuff and all of that. I do it for legacy. And me and my coaches always talk about that. It's about legacy, not about money. I've been doing it too long to do it about money. And I feel like that's where a lot of guys get caught up. And I feel like that's what's gonna separate me from everybody else.
Amen, bro. Amen. And I always like, we see boxing from this side, and then you all see the boxing, like the whole big picture. I know there's a lot of brothers that are in the boxing game. Um, I know Joshua, the Professor Franco, and Bam, his brother.
Hmm.
I know Josh just retired from the sport of boxing, but that was always a big the talk around San Antonio living here was if they would ever fight in the same, fight in the same fight card, or if they would ever main event, here in San Antonio. They both said they would never fight their brother. But would you ever fight your brother? Not to it?
I get that question a lot. I think it's impossible to fight your brother. I think like legally you can't. Um, um, but I would say if we was both on the same mental page and we was like, this is our last fight ever. Let's go out with a bang. The money was right. Maybe. But I wouldn't fight him for legacy. You know what I mean? It would be just more for the fans and me just having fun. Um, but my brother is tough. He gives me that style that not a lot of people have, and that's just being rugged and just constantly coming and coming and coming. He's a pressure fighter. I'm a boxer, so I feel like that's gonna help me. And he's southpaw. He's
Facts.
one weight class above me, and I'm one below him. But I'm gonna fluctuate, either go higher, go lower. I want the belts at 115, 118, and I want a belt at 122, and then just keep on getting them until I get as heavy as I can.
Facts, bro. And then, also this big coming fight, it's coming up in September. I don't think they said it's a set date yet, but Charlo versus Canelo. I know it's undisputed versus undisputed. They both conquered their divisions and both conquered boxing, period. You know, um, him taking that fight, him Charlo taking the fight from Big Charlo, like that. How do you feel about like where that fight will end up at?
Well, it says a lot about his character. He's strong-minded. He believes in his talent, his hands, and I would too if I was him. I feel like that's more of a 50-50 fight than the Spence and Crawford fight. Because if you think about it, Canelo is getting a little older, even though he's young, fairly. But he's just not adjusting to the new styles. I feel like Charlo, being dynamic, his power, his speed, he's gonna give Canelo trouble, and Charlo's tough. Him taking a fight from his older brother, I feel like that was smart, and he still gets to keep his belts if he loses. So he's in the clear for everything. This is more of just legacy for him. I would have done it if I was him. Um, and I think Charlo might win.
Facts. Yeah, that's I'm always like a big boxing fan first when it comes to Canelo's fights. Everyone around me, it's like that it's like you're the only fan in a sea full of everybody else that's, going for the home guy. And that's how I always feel when I watch Canelo fights. But it should be a good fight, bro. And I'm like Canelo's already a millionaire, that he has everything, his hands and everything, And
Yeah.
and Charlo, I feel like he's the one that's kind of like fighting for a legacy with his Lions only. And I see that fight going to be really good, bro, and super excited for that fight. And
What you think about the Inoue fight? Fulton.
I was gonna bring that up next.
Sorry.
I got anyway. I like Fulton, but I just been watching anyway for a long time, and I feel like that Fulton and Figueroa fight, it wasn't. what I expected. That fight was a massive though, but it wasn't how I thought it was going to end up. And I'm a big fan of both fighters, but anyway, has that talent. If you go back and watch his clips of him fighting in these tournaments, these global tournaments, and he's fought a bunch of people from the Philippines to Japan, and I just feel like he's hungry, bro. Like he's already been undisputed, and he's motivated, bro. And what a better way to win it, in the Tokyo, you know, in the arena over there. And Folan has everything to lose right now in this fight, and he's going in like Josh went to Japan and fought that guy, twice. So you know, it's a risk, bro. I guess you're willing to take, you know.
I think I actually got Fulton winning that fight. Surprisingly, I think Fulton he showed in that Figueroa fight that he's tough. He's rugged. He can sit in the paint and bang with you. He's obviously the bigger guy. He has more to lose. You're right about that. In a way, it's tough. He's tough. He used to fight at 118. Now they're moving up. He's fighting at 22, right?
Yeah,
That's what the fight's at. He's fighting at 22. That's a good opportunity for him, especially in Tokyo. If he wins, then he's gonna have a good legacy over there, especially over here as well. Um, I used to always say that I wanted to fight him, so maybe
yeah.
one day, I would love to fight him. I feel like he's strong, but um, styles make fights always.
Yeah. Amen, bro. And I feel like their legacies, bro, in this boxing game is gonna be something, after this fight. And this it's like kind of like, 50-50 over here. And a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people are going Fulton anyway, Fulton, and it's gonna be crazy to see, bro. But I'm glad I was able to see that guy like fight some of those tournaments, like on YouTube and stuff before he was even big mainstream. And it's crazy to see, bro. He's came a long way.
Yeah, he's dynamic.
Yeah. Came a long way, and it's only getting close, and those fights are going to be like on the same time frame, it seems like, with everything that's going on. And it's on a big weekend too of Bud and Earl, and can't wait to see it. What's your whole outlook on the sport of boxing, bro? Like where it's at right now? I know a lot of people say that it's dead. Boxing is dead for years, people are saying. And then people are saying, and other people are like, man, boxing is never been better.
What people don't realize is they're used to seeing one person just take over the sport. You know what I mean? And there being that one person that everybody wants to watch. Now you're seeing a lot of fighters. I mean, Devontae is that guy right now, but you're seeing a lot more fighters fight the best. So now it's bringing eyes from everywhere. Now the winner of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, that's going to be the main attraction after this fight. Um, but I just feel like a lot of the next generation is gonna fight the best of the best, and they don't realize that. But we grew up all together in the amateurs, so now we fight for legacy in the pros. And I know a lot of amateurs that I didn't get to fight in the amateurs because of brackets or this and that, but in the pros is different. And I feel like a lot of those guys with the amateur style when they come to the pros, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be real rough.
Facts, bro. And who do you see, before I forget, who do you see Devin Haney fighting next? Who would you like to see him fight next
If he stays or if he moves up.
if he stays?
If he stays, I want to see him fight Shakur. And I feel like Shakur will piece him up.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Shakur's on a different level than all those guys. Him and Tank could be a really good fight. If he can take the power, he'll win. If he can't take the power, then we know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tank just got out, bro, from doing his little time too. And I heard he's already back in the gym. So I'm hoping to see him back really soon before the end of the year. And I want to see Devin Haney get tested big time too. And I feel like that last fight he just did, it wasn't where I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't impressive. And I feel like that fight could have gone, against him for real. And I want to see him get tested. I want to see him fight these guys, these big guys, and man, give it to Shakur, man. You know,
A lot of people ducking Shakur, even Pitbull.
yeah,
A lot of people don't want to see Shakur in that ring. And I know the risk and the reward is low or high, but if you beat Shakur, anybody beats Shakur, that's right there. They can say they're the best in the division no matter what. They're if they're stronger than Shakur, they can say the strongest. And if they can outbox Shakur, even better. They can say that they're the best in boxing, period.
yeah, amen, bro, amen to that. And this other fight that people have been talking about, you know, Keyshawn Davis, versus Kid Austin. People want to see that fight. Some people want to see Kid Austin versus JoJo Diaz. What would you like to see, bro?
Actually, I know Kid Austin. He's came to the gym and trained with us, or trained not with us, but at the gym. Coming and getting ready for one of his fights on Telemundo when he was young in his career. I know him from the amateur days as well. I feel like him versus Keyshawn would be a good fight. I think that would be a really good fight. Keyshawn's a stud. He's real good. But I feel like him versus JoJo makes more sense right now. To get him ready for Keyshawn. And I don't think Keyshawn or them will take that fight right now.
Facts. And people are like, "Oh, I know he's going to be back in September." Kid Austin, they're saying he's going to be back in September, and a lot of people are like hinting that it's going to be JoJo Diaz. And how would you see that fight going though?
Oh, I see him being too fast for Jojo Diaz. I see him being too fast for Jojo Diaz. Jojo is looking a little bigger and slower now, but we shall see. Jojo comes nonstop, so if he can't hurt him, then it might be a long night for Kid Austin.
Yeah, because I was seeing that stuff, bro, and he's a really humbled guy. He's been on the channel about twice. Recently saw him, at his fight live, and I feel like he's crazy, bro, and I feel like he's gonna carry the Golden Boy, brand, for years to come. And I hope an Oscar, does right by him and gives him the best fights that's possible for him, and get his legacy out there, make his name even bigger than what it was here at Davies Entertainment. I want to see him go big time, bro, and get on these big fights. I know he's already been on the undercard of Davis, and it's crazy. It's crazy to see, bro, and I want to see you, on that Showtime pay-per-view, bro.
I appreciate that for real.
I want to see you on that Showtime, either the Zone, Showtime, Max Room. I want to see that. And what would be one, you know, brand that you would want to go with if you could choose?
If I
Looking
could
at it
choose
now.
one, if I could choose any of them, like they all laid out on the table, I'm
Yeah,
choosing PBC and Al Heyman any day of the week. I feel like you don't see Al Heyman a lot, but you don't see him a lot for reasons.
yeah,
Um, he's a smart businessman, and he not only wants to win it himself, but he wants to see the fighters grow. Let them build their own promotional company. It lets you become a businessman yourself.
Max, bro. It's gonna be crazy just to see where a lot of these young talent they end up, and a lot of people that aren't signed to smaller promotional brands to the big brands, and I can't wait to see where you end up, bro. And
I like where Golden Boy is going with their stuff right now too, though, because Golden Boy they're getting their fighters fights constantly and constantly. They're coming back slowly. I'm looking at them more than the top rank side.
yeah,
Top rank looks like they're a little too focused on certain fighters. Um, and once they get to certain fighters, it's like they want them to win the world championship once they get signed. And you got to
yeah,
give fighters time to develop.
yeah, yeah. Oh, and another fight that a lot of people have been talking about. I wanted to bring up to you Diego Pachenko. I know he came up in the amateur ranks pretty fast too, and Edgar Barlinga.
Hmm.
They want that fight to happen. How do you see that fight breaking down if that's the
Um, I have to go with Edgar Berlanga. My Boricua family. I feel like Edgar would walk him down. It'll be a good fight though, but Edgar will walk him down. Edgar's with the right coaches right now, the right team, and I feel like he just looked good in his last fight. He fought a really good fighter that adjusted and looked better than he did in his last fight. Quickly, he looked way better than he did in his last fight. And it was a good test for Edgar and a good way to get the ring rust off.
It was, bro, and I was kind of glad to see him with with the zone and match room, and to see what actually happens with that, in the long run for him. And I know he shocked the world every time he was on, on ESPN Plus, Top Rank, and I love where all these fighters are at right now. Eddie Hearn's a matchroom boxing is crazy. They're all crazy, bro, deep down, and I look forward to seeing how these fights end up and everything, bro, in the future with my mind is blown with everything, how everything is going with this channel to seeing all these young fighters that were on the channel in the past, how far they've come, bro. And like you and your brother. And can't wait to see your brother fight, man, Kissimmee, Florida. That's gonna be dope. And Undisputed Promotions all day, bro. They're always showing love, and let everyone know where they can follow you at, bro, and follow the journey.
Um, y'all can follow me on Instagram at official pretty boy LeBron. On YouTube, just as Carlos LeBron, if you want to see some old fights, old sparring clips. I'm not scared to show anything because when it comes to fight me, it's different in the ring. So you can check me out there. You can check out my gym, Teknique Boxing on Instagram. You can also see my upcoming fights or when I'm gonna fight on Undisputed Promotions on their Instagram or on Anthony Arvello Jr.'s Instagram. I'm excited for what the future has. We might fight in Florida more, and we might go out of Florida. So maybe one day I'll come to Texas. I know y'all got this one guy over there named Tay.
Yeah,
He's 5-0 or 3-0.
yep,
Maybe one day I'll get in the ring with Tay. But that's up to them.
thanks, bro. And I like all this cross brand stuff, bro, that Anthony's been doing. And Undisputed is just it's crazy, bro. He's came a long way too, and he's been on the channel quite some time now, and I'm like, man, it's nuts, bro. That's like big bro. He's the one that was like kind of gave me a first interview too. So, always shout out to him. And
Yeah, he came forward to be on Pro Box TV now. That's great. And he could show his top fighters to Pro Box and put them on the TV platform so that it's good for all the Florida fighters and any fighter he has.
thanks, bro. Can't wait to see you back in the ring, bro. I know just got out of the ring, but can't wait to see you back in the ring and see all these upcoming fights coming up. Y'all go check him out. His links will be in the description down below. Go check out his brother, Kissimmee, Florida. And their links will be in the description down below too, man. Go follow the brothers, the LeBron brothers, and taking over the game and coming for that top spots. And big shout out to everyone for always following me and following the journey. And y'all go follow Florida, man. Florida made all day. And it's been Carlos LeBron, Carlito, one love. We